Hi, it's Ingrid. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing something fun. You've seen it in the title, so I could just say it. I'm doing another haul. I think I have 18 books to show you. I'm trying to get through my physical TBR, but then I keep buying books, so that makes it hard. But I'm very excited by these books. Some of them are new releases. Some from my favorite authors, some from authors I've never read before. Some are just other books that I've heard a lot about but never picked up. And some I've never seen before. So I'm very excited. I just saw them in the store, they looked interesting, and I'm very excited to read them. I'm looking at someone in specific here, and I'm so excited to show you because these covers, gorgeous. I will not be splitting this up into different genres. I'm just going to do it from when I bought them. So this is going to be all of the books I've bought in April. The month isn't over, so there's still a chance that I will buy more books. But as of right now, these are the books I've bought in April. So I think I'm just going to get started with the first ones I bought. So these ones I actually bought while filming a video. The video isn't up yet. I'm not completely sure if I'm going to post it or not because I don't know how it turned out. But anyways, a book came out this month from one of my favorite authors. I wanted to pre-order this book, so I did, but then I couldn't just buy that one, so I bought 3. But that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I love her writing in the Grishaverse. I've never read anything else by her. I own 9000 Hellbent and I'm gonna read those soon, but this one is different because all of the Grisha books like Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, those things are fantasy. This is historical fiction. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because I feel like historical fiction is very intimidating. And this is a Spanish thing? I don't know. I'm not used to hardbacks. Should I read this? It says, in a shabby house in the new capital of Madrid, Lucia, I don't know, Cotado uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil. But when her scheming mistress discovers her scullion is hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Lucia use those gifts to win over the royal court. Determined to seize this chance to better her fortunes, Lucia plunges into a world of power-hungry nobility, desperate kings, holy men, and seers, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud blur. With the pyres of the Inquisition burning, she must use every bit of her wit and resilience to win fame and hide the truth of her ancestry, even if that means enlisting the help of an embittered immortal familiar, whose own secret could cost her everything. It says on the back here, one must never expect miracles, but one can hope for them all the same. I saw her, Leigh Bardugo, post a little excerpt of the book on her Instagram. She read some of it, and I was very interested in it. I don't remember all of it, but it just seemed so interesting. So I was sure that this is something I'm gonna like. I'm very excited. I got the limited exclusive edition. The difference is that it's blue. I don't know if there's anything else difference with it, but I think that's the difference. And I think I like the blue more than the gold, to be honest. And there's black sprayed edges. If you're interested in knowing what it looks like, it's like this with its beautiful little symbol. Yeah, that's this book. Very excited to read this. Don't know much about it, but I'm probably gonna read that very soon. I'm trying not to break this thing. I have it displayed on my shelf and I love it. With that package, like I said, I ordered 3 books. So I got Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I love Lynn Painter a lot. I've read most of her books. This one came out in March. Didn't buy it immediately, but I have it now and I'm excited to read it. This is another adult romance. She writes both adult and young adult, and I love everything. This one, again, I don't really know anything about any of these books, so don't expect much. But I think this one, 2 people are getting married and the woman hires someone to object to the marriage, and then eventually she starts doing the same. I don't know why, and I don't want to know too much because I would like to go in somewhat blind. I like knowing the baseline of it, but I just don't want to know too much. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, because I think the whole objection thing is stupid. Like, why is that a thing? I think that's like an American thing, because why can anyone decide who gets married other than the people getting married? It doesn't make any sense, and I hate it. But I'm gonna read it just because it's Lynn Painter. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. If it wasn't written by Lynn Painter, I would not have picked this book up. So that's all I have to say about this. I also got the third Bridgerton book, An Offer from a Gentleman. This is Benedict's story? Colin? Benedict. I'm confused, because on the second book it says Anthony's story, but on this one it doesn't say. I don't know what is going to happen in this book, but it's the third book in the Bridgerton series, which basically follows the Bridgerton family and they're going to like balls and things, getting married. I wasn't really planning on continuing this series after reading the first one. I liked it, but I just never thought of it, and thinking back on it I wasn't interested. But then I read the second book, because I owned that one as well, and I fell in love. So I had to continue. And now I kind of want to read this and the next book before season 3 of Bridgerton comes out. I've never watched it, but I really want to. And I think they skipped this book in the show and went straight to Colin's story, which is stupid. So now I have to read this one and the next one before May 16th. I think that's when it comes out. And watch season 1 and 2. And I just don't watch shows like that. But I want to watch it. But like, I don't have the patience. But I want to watch it. I don't know what's happening in this one. This year's most sought after invitation must surely be that of the Bridgerton Masquerade Ball, to be held Monday next. Will some fortunate young lady use the mystery of a masquerade night to snare one of the eligible bachelors? Lady whistled down society papers, May 1815. Then it says, Sophie Beckett never dreamt she would sneak into Lady Bridgerton's famed masquerade ball, or that Prince Charming would be waiting there for her. Though the daughter of an earl, Sophie had been relegated to the role of servant by her disdainful stepmother. Okay, Cinderella. But that night, spinning in the strong arms of the debonair and devastatingly handsome Benedict Bridgerton, she felt like royalty, yet she knows all enchantments must end. But Sophie has reckoned without Benedict's determined heart. He has sworn to find and wed his mystery miss, for he knows this is his only chance for a fairy tale love. Seems interesting. Loved the last one. I'm excited to read this one as well. Again, this is like a historical fiction, which I didn't think was my thing, but after reading Anthony's story, I want to continue. I have too many books to talk about. I hate doing this, actually. I love buying books, and I love showing you them, but having to tell you what they're about, because I have no idea. On my next trip to the bookstore, I bought 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, no, I did not buy those at the same time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books from that trip. I'm gonna try to split these ones into genres from this one trip. So I got Powerful by Lauren Roberts, the novella in the Powerless series. I don't know if the series has a name or if it's just Powerless, but I think the next book in the series comes out in July, so this is the novella. I still haven't read Powerless. I got it for Christmas. I'm probably going to read that soon, because I would like to read both that one and this one before the next one comes out. But this is the story of the best friend of the female main character in Powerless. I don't know really what that's about, so I can't tell you much about it, and I don't want to read this because I'm afraid it's gonna spoil Powerless. These titles are confusing. I'm gonna move on, but I'm excited to read it. Then I have Time of Contempt, the 2nd or 4th book in the Witcher series, depending on how you look at it. It says number 2. It's the 2nd novel, like full-length novel, but there are like short stories, little collections of short stories that are before this. So I've read those 2. This is the 2nd one. I haven't read the first one yet. I'm not gonna read the back of it because I'm afraid it's gonna spoil something, even though I've probably seen it in the show. But this series is about a witcher called Geralt, who basically, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's considered a spoiler, but like, he's a monster slayer. He kills monsters. That's what he do. And then the series is about him doing that, but also includes other characters. Like, I actually have no idea what's considered a spoiler, but I'm very excited to see his relationship with Jennifer and Jaskier and Siri, and just see how that turns out. Because I've seen it in the show, but like I haven't read much of it. Obviously some of it was in the collection of short stories that I've read, and I loved some of those at least. I loved the moments between Geralt and Jaskier, at least like best friend goals, even though it's not always that's what's happening. I don't know what I just said. But that's all I have to say about this. I'm gonna read it soon. I want to read... Season 3 of The Witcher came out June 29th. But that day I was on my way to the airport because I was flying to Poland, so I couldn't watch it. And then with me, I just don't have the patience for shows, so unless I'm watching it right when it comes out, I will not be watching. But then, a few months ago, I sat down and was like, I'm gonna watch season 3 now. I'm very excited, like I love the show, and I love Henry Cavill. Until one of the characters said, the time of Contempt is coming. And I was like, that's the name of the second book. So now I can't watch it without reading the book first. Because I was going to, but like now that you said it, I have to read the book. So I need to read this so that I can watch season 3. This next book I'm very excited about. This is a new release. I've heard a lot about this author, but I've never read anything. But that is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I feel like Tessa Bailey is an author that most people have read. I still haven't, so I think it's about time. And this one, obviously, it's about a fangirl. Me, I'm a fangirl, and I think the man is a golfer. Yeah, it says Wells Whitaker was once golf's hottest rising star, but lately all he has to show for his promising career is a killer hangover, a collection of broken clubs, and one remaining supporter. No matter how bad he plays, the beautiful sunny redhead is always on the sideline. Josephine Doyle believed in the gorgeous grumpy golfer even when he didn't believe in himself. Yet after he throws in the towel, she begins to wonder if her faith was misplaced. Then a determined Wells shows up at her door with a wild proposal. Together, spending days on the green and nights in neighboring hotel rooms, sparks fly. Before long, they're inseparable. Wells starts winning again, and Josephine is surprised to find a sweet, thoughtful guy underneath his gruff, growly exterior. But Wells is technically her boss, and an athlete falling for his fangirl would be ridiculous. Right? Like, doesn't that seem so exciting? And I feel like this is a story that me as a fangirl can like really relate to. Obviously I don't know what's going on, but like I want my favorite celebrity to fall for me. So I'm gonna read this and try to not be too jealous. Another author that I've heard a lot about, like everyone loves this author, I've never read anything, that is Abby Jimenez, who came out with a new book this month. Just for the summer. I actually wanted to read her other books before this, but this is this month's pick for Sarah Crowley's book club that I'm subscribing to, so I would like to read it so that I can watch her reading vlog of it. It's very thick and that's scary, but I think it's good because everyone said so many nice things about Abby Jimenez and her writing, so I'm excited to like see that for myself. I don't know what this one is about, and I don't want to read the back of it, so I'm sorry, but I'm not going to. But I'm very excited to read it, and I will most likely read it very soon. Now I have some thrillers. At least 2 of them are thrillers. I think the third one is as well. I'm not completely sure. But I have The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I read a Frida McFadden book for the first time this month, and I really like her writing. So I bought this one when I was like 100 pages into the last one. And this one was the one that seemed the most interesting to me out of the ones that were in the store. I don't know exactly. I think I'm gonna read the back of it for you, I think. But if I remember correctly, no, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I think the person works in a prison and she knows the prisoner. I don't know. I can't explain it well. As a new nurse practitioner at the maximum security prison, Brooke Sullivan is taught 3 crucial rules. 1. Treat all prisoners with respect. 2. Never reveal any personal information. 3. Never ever become too friendly with the inmates. But nobody knows that Brooke has already broken the rules. Nobody knows about her intimate connection to Shane Nelson, one of the penitentiary's most notorious and dangerous inmates. They certainly don't know that Shane was Brooke's high school sweetheart, the star quarterback, the golden boy who's serving a life sentence for a series of grisly murders, or that Brooke's testimony was what put him there. But Shane knows. He knows more than anyone. and he will never forget. The Inmate is a propulsive, mind-bending thriller about how we define guilt and who has to pay for it. I'm so excited. I'm also a little scared because the last book I read by her, I have very conflicting feelings towards. Like, I love her writing, but like it made me angry. So I don't know if this is gonna like give me the same feeling or not. But I am very interested, and I want to read more thrillers. I think I'm really enjoying thrillers. I've been scared of picking them up because I didn't think it was for me, but like I like branching out and reading a few different genres, I've learned. The next one is a book I've never heard about, never seen, not the book or the author. But there was only one reason why I bought it, and I'm going to tell you that, but first I'm going to show you the book. The Hike by Lucy Clark. I was in the bookstore and I was just like looking at different books, reading the back of it, because I'm trying to not buy books just because other people have talked about them, but because I'm actually interested. The first thing I saw when I read the back of it was Norwegian. Why does it say that? So I read it, and it says, seeking the escape of a lifetime, 4 friends hike out into the beautiful Norwegian wild. I live in Norway. This is not written by a Norwegian author, so that was special to me, and I wanted to read it. Next it says, nothing between them and the mountain peak but forest, sea and sharp blue sky. But there's a darker side to the wilderness. A woman went missing here 1 year ago. Now the friends are hiking into the heart of the mystery, and waiting on the trail is someone who'd do anything to keep their secrets buried. It sounds interesting, it sounds thrilling, and it's set in Norway. Like, I had to buy it, and I will let you know what I think about it. This next book I'm so excited about. Like, a few months ago I think, I posted on my Snapchat private story about this book I saw by an author that I've read before. Last summer I read The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen. I was like googling her, trying to look at other books, and I saw this book called Every Exquisite Thing. And the reason this one piqued my interest was because it was like described as inspired by The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I also read last year, and I loved that one. And it just, I forgot about the book, but I picked it up in the bookstore and I read the back of it. I'm like, this is the one I posted on my story. So I'm gonna read this as well because I have no explanation for it. Penny Paxton, the daughter of a beloved icon, will do anything to continue her mother's legacy, including enrolling at the elite and cutthroat Dorian Drama Academy. When Penny's new mentor offers her the chance to have a portrait painted by a mysterious artist who promises immortal beauty to all his subjects, Penny jumps at the chance to join Dorian's most glittering alumni, knowing that stardom will soon be hers. But then her mentor is found murdered, her portrait violently slashed, and as the bodies pile up, Penny realizes she's made a terrible mistake. Like, it's The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I'm so excited to read this. I'm going to pick this up very soon, I think, because I loved The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this just, like, I don't think I've ever been like this excited about a random book that I found in the bookstore. So I'm just gonna, I'm so excited. I don't know what else to say, I'm just so excited. This next one, well, there's 2, is actually a series, and I bought both books, not having ever read any of them or the author before. That's the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. I have Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled. I've never seen them in the bookstore until the day I bought them, and they had both, so I had to get them. This is like a cowboy romance. I don't know much more than that, and I don't want to know much more than that, but I'm gonna read it very soon. I've been waiting for it to be like summer. Technically it's sunny out, but it's just so cold. So as soon as it gets a little bit warmer and the wind calms down, I will be sitting outside reading my I will be sitting outside in the sun reading my cowboy romances. I'm so excited for it, and I can't wait. Problem is though, I wanted to read Chestnut Springs first, but I'm not sure I can wait, so I might be reading this sooner than I thought I would. And I'm very excited to share my thoughts on them with you. Like, I know everyone loves them, especially Done and Dusted. I've heard so many good things about it, but I've never seen it in the store before. But now that I have, I own them, and I can finally read them. Now onto my last pile of books. Yesterday I went shopping, and obviously I had to look at some books. I walked into one bookstore, at one mall and I decided not to buy anything. Then we drove to another mall. Went to the one bookstore, didn't find anything. Went to the other one, I found 6. None of them the books I thought I would buy, because I had a list of things I wanted. But the first thing I picked up was a series that I've never heard of before. But I've heard of the author. I've heard like good things about the author. But I've never seen these books, but they were gorgeous. So that is the Cloverley Farms series by Melanie Harlow. I have book 1, Irresistible, and book 2, Undeniable. The main reason I picked them up is because the covers are absolutely gorgeous. And then I read the back of them and they sounded interesting. This one is about a single dad, which I want. This one is like a childhood friends to lovers. Both of them looked very interesting. And the covers, they're so gorgeous. They're very expensive though. This like, why are they... I hit my finger inside of the book. But I just think they're gorgeous. And they're like, it seems to be like a small town thing. It might not be a small town, but it's just giving me that feeling. So I'm very excited to read them. I want to pick them up right now, actually. I can't because I'm filming something. But I want to read them right now. Next to those books were this one. Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher. Don't know much about this one either. But the man was Scottish. So I had to. Opposites attract when a fish out of water actress and a grumpy Scottish whiskey distiller are forced to work together to save the distillery they both love. Is the man Scottish or is he just working on Scottish whiskey? I think he's Scottish. The pages are so white. Like they don't normally look like that. I'm gonna take that sticker off. It is removable. I'm just gonna put that out there. Next one is about a race car driver. It's Bloodstream by Emily Carter. Never heard of it before, but I saw it and it looked interesting. And this is about a social media manager and a race car driver. Julian detests everything he believes Faith stands for. He has too much at stake to let someone see the real him, but Faith isn't the woman he thought and Julian isn't the bad boy he shows the world. I feel like it's gonna be like a little rivalry going into lovers here, which is always fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm such a romance mood now that I'm reading these. Just looking at the back and just, I want to read. And as soon as my exams are over, I will be reading non-stop. I also got The Night Shift by Annie Crown. Yeah. This one I've heard a little bit about. I think I've seen people mention them, but I've never really seen their thoughts on them, so I don't know. She's a bookworm. He's a basketball player. They meet at the library. I think he's being mean or she's being mean. I'm just gonna read the back because I don't know how to explain it. Kendall Holiday spends her Friday nights exactly where she wants to be, with her head buried in a spicy romance novel while she works a graveyard shift at her university's library. She knows she could join her friends for a weekend of drunken debauchery and college parties, but she likes her alone time, so she tells herself she isn't hiding when she gets lost in the pages of fictional love stories. But that all changes when Vincent Knight, captain of the basketball team, turns up with an injured wrist, a sour mood, and a pressing need for poetry recommendations for a class he hates. Vincent is tall, smart-mouthed, and challenges Kendall like no one has before. Suddenly, she's falling headfirst into her own romance novel, but it takes a lot more truth than tropes to get to a happy ever after in real life. I feel like he's gonna be like grumpy. And I like that. So I'm very excited. Like, looking at this cover, like, I like it, but I hate it. Like, why? I don't like the people on it. Even though I think I like animated covers, but like this, there's something about it I don't like, but it's pink and I love that. Last book I have to talk about is from 2 authors that I've never read from before, but I've heard so much. This is not the book that I've heard the most about, but it looked interesting, and that is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I think Love and Other Words is the book that most people talk about. But this one, I like the cover. And after reading a lot of Ali Hazelwood books where it's like STEM people, I wanted this. This girl is like a number genius, I don't know. Yes, Jess Davis is a numbers genius, but when it comes to love, she's had to accept there is no magic formula. Juggling a career with raising her daughter, it's not surprising that her life is non-existent. She's a single mother. But then she hears about Genetic Alley, a buzzy new matchmaking company that claims to find you the one using a DNA equation. Suddenly, love doesn't seem quite so far out of reach. Until her test shows an unheard of 98% compatibility with the founder, Dr. River Pena. Jess already knows Dr. Pena, and this man is 100% not her soulmate. Yet, as the pair are dragged from one event to the next as the ultimate pairing that could make Genetic Alley a fortune, Jess begins to realize that there might be more to the scientist and to the science behind a soulmate than she thought. I think Ali Hazelwood has made me fall in love with STEM romance. Like, I want to read about smart people. I want to read about people who think that this person isn't a match, but clearly they're gonna love each other. And I think the cover is so cute. That's all the books I have to talk about. I'm so excited to read them. My bed is a mess right now because I have my books like everywhere. Bad thing about this is that I have very recently reorganized my bookshelves and my book cart. Now there's no space for these books, so I've just been like stacking them on top of my book cart. But that just means I have to read more, and I'm very excited for that. Like, I need to pick up these books right now. I need a romance. I'm so excited. I love reading, I love books, I love buying books. And I can't wait to tell you my thoughts on all of these books. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, lovers.